Hello everyone and welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson and we are channeling the man in the moon. Today I want to make something very clear to everybody. It's obvious Trump is done. It's over. Already today we're seeing people call out Michael Pompeo. There's hundreds of people who are implicated in this scandal. They don't want to go to prison, right? And so they're going to start coughing up the truth. Right? This is very different from the Mueller inquiry, which Trump was able to repress, keep his hand on. He can't keep his hand on this now. It's just moving too quickly. People like Pompeo don't want to spend the rest of their lives in prison, right? It seems pretty clear to me that Pompeo had ambitions. They've just been bashed today. He's implicated in serious crimes, as are many, many other people. So hopefully this will relieve your anxiety, right? I don't mean stop working. We have a lot of work to do to move towards our political goals. But you notice that many of the readers that you probably, when watching, were right. Even when it looked like they were wrong, they were right. Trump is done. Let that sink in. It doesn't mean we have to stop working. It does mean we need to get over the anxiety a little bit so that we have some confidence to move forward. I am, however, today going to see what's Trump offering now, what's the next thing, and when I say offering, of course, I mean a dark offering. What will happen next in the Trump administration? Yeah, a lot of frenzied images. A lot of things, again, things coming back to Trump. They're just circling around to haunt him. And it does look like a lot of stuff. It also has this sort of force of like a powerful gold ring. If you remember, I mentioned that sort of encircling the earth and protecting us. But this ring is sort of similar, and it is protecting us. It's just everything comes back to Trump. Everything he did and said is coming back to him. This is going to happen over and over again. Pompeo's just been totally ruined. I can see his frustrated figure. He's got a globe in his hand, and he's throwing it against a wall in absolute total frustration. So I feel like his career is done. Couldn't happen to a nicer person. So what else? All we're left with is Miller, that creepy Stephen Miller guy, who I hate to even look at while I'm channeling, but that's all that's going to remain of the Trump supporters and the people in this administration is the vampires who are like that Stephen Miller character. I don't see him accomplishing anything from here on in terms of his agenda. He's just not going to do very well. And he's quite desperate. The way that he's lashing out is also very interesting. I see him even lashing out at Ivanka, every single person around him. So he's actually depressing everybody in the White House. He looks so desperate that it looks like he's going to lose, which means these people are not going to stick around and defend him. I mean, if you're smart and you're not his kid, the best thing to do right now is go confess, quit, or protect yourself somehow. It's obvious the presidency's going down. He's not going to survive this. He's not going to get reelected. So lots of people out there are rethinking their position right now, a la Trump. And I think it is just starting to dawn on a few people that they better switch sides. They better jump this ship. These are even people who have supported the president. Maybe not so far as like the Jim Jordan's types, because they're way too invested in this. But even people a little south of Jordan, who are fairly conservative and have always been Trump supporters, they're having a good long think about what they should do next. So Spirit, who will turn on him first? Who will support impeachment among the Republican Party? The woman from Alaska, whose name escapes me. She's a senator. Her face pops up. I think Susan Collins, is that Susan Collins I'm seeing? That's a good possibility. She might not go verbal with it. She might not be open about it yet, but she's turning. Anyone else that, I don't necessarily know everybody's face. They're not going to be so open about this. That's the message I'm getting. Lisa Murkowski is the Alaskan I was thinking of, but the others may not be so open about this because it will hurt their election chances. So are they going to? How are they going to get him to leave? They're just going to go and have a little chat with him. Going to go and let him know. And these are not, again, necessarily the Jim Jordans. These are the realists in the pack who see the way that this is going. And behind everybody's back, they're going to go start talking to him because they know which way the wind blows. Okay, symbolic plane flying south. It's all going south, man. Let's see. They're going to maybe try to make it a secret vote. And at very least, I don't know if it's... I don't think it's going to be necessary. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see. Will it even be necessary? The easiest way out. That's what the Republicans are going to go for. The easiest way out. And the easiest way out is to walk in there and say, look, you got to go. I don't want to be seen to be voting against you in impeachment. So just leave, okay? And those guys aren't dumb. They're going to have a good enough threat behind them that said, you can either go to jail tomorrow or you can go to jail in 6 months. So you decide, time for you to go. Ooh, that Mitch McConnell, I mean, he is just nobody's friend. He'll do anything he can to survive. He seems to be kind of a leader of these ideas. They're already trying to figure it out. I see them actually reading a lot of books. They're already trying to figure out right now how to do this. They were kind of waiting to see which way the population would go and how quickly it would move against them. And the closer the faster the movement goes, the quicker they will pressure Trump to leave. And there's some other problem. It looks like maybe it's a problem at the border. I see people busting through a gate. It might even be that people bust through a gate or bust through at the border, and then there's some great harm to those people. I wonder if is this really the border, or is it just a symbolic message of people busting through? I do feel like it is at the border. Maybe Texas, California? Something happens there, and this is another catalyst, because I think the officers just pull out, they're going to start shooting. Spirit's likening this to the Zeppelin. Remember when that Zeppelin burned in the 1930s? It was a Hindenburg, I think. It's like that. It's just once it starts catching fire, it's all over. It's just going to explode really rapidly. And I think it's, the fire has just begun. Right? But already we're maybe a third of the way there. That could mean even a third of the Senate or a third of the Republicans have already decided what they're going to do. They're still being cautious because anything could change tomorrow. But it's looking like they're turning against him. I even get the feeling 2/3. And I don't know if that's 2/3 of the Senate or 2/3 of the Republican Party, but that's how much of the Zeppelin I see burning. Right? Eventually, that's how far it goes. So one way or another, 2/3 of the Senate is enough to impeach. And all they need to do is tell him, you got enough to impeach you, you can go through this process, but you don't want to do that, do you? And they'll make it worthwhile for him not to be able to do that. One beautiful thing is they cannot promise him anything. So what about Pence? What's he going to do? Pence is almost looking like he's wanting to go away. Like he would rather disappear than go through his own process in this impeachment hearings. Because he's implicated. He's done illegal things. They might actually let him go and say, we will not prosecute you if you just take off. And for the good of the country. It's funny because now I do see the country really being run by Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff. So is there going to be a president pro tem? Pelosi's coming out a little stronger, but I almost feel like Adam Schiff is there, like backing her up, or he's the one. I also understand that Pelosi figured out who the smart one is, and she decided to put Schiff in charge of the investigation. He seems to know how to handle things a little better than Nadler did in the last hearing with Murkowski. And this is really good for him. He's really going to show his strength, his abilities, his calm demeanor. He's really going to show us what a head of state should look like. And it's hard to get him. It's hard to get him. You know, Schiff, it's hard to get under his skin. It's hard to find anything negative about him. He's just too well known, too well respected. All the laundry's been aired already. There's nothing on Schiff except nasty names. Something very interesting about Schiff's eyes. I don't know what it is, but they're almost like alien eyes. You know, if you look at him, Schiff's eyes are very telling. And something, you know, very appealing about them. He just comes across as an honest fellow. So I think that this was really a good move on their part. Nancy Pelosi's rubbing her hands together. She's like, I did it, you know. I did it. She's really coming forward. It looks to me like she could be the president pro tem. How much time? I get 6 months. That's the first feeling I got. 6, 7 months. Could it be as much as 9? That means that they would impeach 6 months to 9 months, I think. So, Spirit, how long will it take to get rid of him? I'm getting 7 months, but there might be some finagling a little bit. Maybe Trump doesn't believe them the first time. It might even be that the Republicans start putting pressure on their own, the people who witness it, and they say, you better come forward and tell the truth, you know, because we don't want Trump here anymore. So you just let us all know the truth. And they know where the way the wind is blowing. Pompeo's gone to jail. Anybody else that we need to know? I get Mitch McConnell might be close to going to jail. I'm not sure if he will go, but there will be some serious questions about the things that he has done, and involving, you know, what is involving? It does seem to involve some connection with Russia. I see a person wearing a Russian hat. It's not Putin. It is a man. And I'd see Lindsey Graham getting really pissed off. He's really, really angry about what happened. Look, don't be fooled by their presentations. They may come across to you and pretend to do these things. They're really floating an idea to see if it'll work. Again, another plane going south. So, just you know, please be advised. This is not the time to be stressed out and worrying. This is a moment where we should all be celebrating that the truth has come out, that justice is showing up almost like a miracle, everyone. You realize this was like a miracle. The thing that we thought would happen would be Mueller's report, but this Mueller's report, this is almost like part two. This is the thing that didn't get examined, but it's still there, and it follows exactly on the same pattern as the last effrontery by the president. Do your best to not worry and think about this in the positive sense that it is. We're not done, work is not over, but in principle, we have prevailed. Our society has prevailed. Some people in our society have shown their true value, and others have shown who they are. Take comfort in the fact that you were at the right time, you were on the right team. Thanks so much for watching.